Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Farkan, product designer working in London. In this video, I'm going to talk through a really easy and simple way to set up your Figma file to get good quality feedback on your designs. A super important part of iterating on your designs is getting that feedback from other cross-functional peers, and you want to be able to do this effectively. I'm going to teach you and showcase you a way of making sure the feedback that you get is going to be a lot higher quality, and it's going to be a really simple way of doing this. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for future design related videos, and let's get started. So let's dive straight into Figma to see how we set up the file. And the way this file is set up is that it's going to be a really quick way for you to get feedback, because when it comes to getting feedback, we should be getting this often, and we want to find a framework that allows us to set up our file really simply and easily so it doesn't become really cumbersome and it puts you off for asking feedback. We want to make a way where it's really simple and lightweight, so it's going to help us get more effective feedback, but it's still really easy to do, something that will only take us a couple of minutes. And we want to make it easier for the person that's giving you the feedback to help you more effectively by following this framework. Whether you're looking for feedback in a design crit asynchronously on Slack or Workplace or MS Teams, or you're having a one-to-one with another designer and you want them to help you out, whether this is async or in person, I really recommend looking at this framework because it's going to help you get more effective feedback and it's going to help everyone out. There's nothing more helpful as a designer that's giving feedback to someone to explain the context of a project, as well as give them the feedback you're looking for and feedback you're not looking for. So let's dive a bit deeper into these 3 steps that you have to take. So one of the most important points when it comes to giving feedback and asking for feedback is bringing people up to speed with the context of a project. They need to understand the problem you're trying to solve and get into the problem space. But the best way of doing this is trying to summarize this in a few bullet points. Try and aim 4 to 5 bullet points if you can, because people have a limited amount of time to give you feedback, and the chances are the people giving you feedback, they're designers on the same team as you, but not on necessarily the exact same project that you work on day to day. Therefore, how will they be able to effectively give you feedback if they don't understand the context? And trying to do this in 3 or 4 bullet points is a great muscle to train, because you're summarizing the project really simply and effectively, and it's something you can reuse between presentations and different feedback cycles you're looking for. You write it down once and you can reuse it and mold it a bit differently as you change the feedback you're looking for. Only takes a couple of minutes, but trust me, it helps so much when you give people the context of a project, and learning to do this in quite a simple and effective way is going to help you a lot. I've been on many design crits where maybe people spent over 10-15 minutes given the context, but you want to maximize your time. And same with async feedback. If people see context that's taking pages and pages, they're not really going to be that inclined to give you more effective feedback. So let's dive deeper in how we do this in 3 bullet points here with this headspace dummy example. So what we see here is we really talk about the evidence and the research of a project, what we're trying to achieve here in 3 sentences. We see in the first paragraph, look, there's increasing amount of content being put on Headspace, which as they naturally add more videos, more courses, it's making it harder to discover relevant content for the user of Headspace, but then that means discoverability of content has dropped by 5%. So we're trying to actually, in this project, we've got signal from data that shows that search could potentially be a good way to help people leverage and discover new content, but only 40% of people are completing successful searches. And we believe, again, it's an assumption that this could be a great way to discover new content. So how might we increase discoverability through search? By using a carousel of suggested trending search terms. Someone can read this in like 30-40 seconds and they're now into your headspace of the problem you're trying to solve, and it's going to help you get more effective feedback because they've got the context nailed down. So try to write this down, and it'll only take you 2-3 minutes tops, and it's going to help you so much, and it's a great muscle that's going to help you out further on in your career, not just asking for feedback for designs, but just learning to summarize projects for different stakeholder presentations as well. So next up, probably one of the most important bits, which is stating the exact feedback you're looking for. The reason this is so important because when people are giving you feedback, they might be deviating away from what you're actually looking feedback on. They might be talking about the content of a copy, or they might be talking about some design system components or some color or typography that you're not really looking for feedback on just yet, or that's not what you're interested in. So the best way of getting around this problem is by telling people before you go to a crit or asynchronously write up what you're looking for specific feedback on. Is it the visual design? Is it the interaction design? Is it more down to the technicality of the solution? Tell people the exact feedback you're looking for, and then that's going to really increase the quality of the feedback, because people cannot read your mind when it comes to what feedback you're looking for, and it helps a person give feedback. It allows them to spend their time way more effectively as well. So when we go here, this only takes a minute or two, and it's going to help you a lot longer term when you're asking people for feedback. It takes a few minutes and it's going to really up the quality of the feedback you're looking for. So we're saying here we want some feedback on the interaction design patterns, the edge cases I need to think about because I might not have thought about all the edge cases right here. I'm looking for some visual design feedback on the design system. Am I using the correct components? Am I using the correct semantics and rules when it comes to padding and hierarchies? That's all looking okay as well. And I'm also looking for, have people come across any other existing solutions that might work really well? So again, this is really simple to do. Just say I'm looking for feedback on the interaction design pattern on the carousel with the content. Is it simple enough to understand? Is this a common pattern? Make sure you expand a bit on the feedback you're looking for, but it's going to really help you guide through the right conversation here. The last thing, probably the most underrated in my opinion, but tell people the stuff you're not looking for feedback on, because the chances are when you present work or ask people for feedback async, again, they can't read your mind, and they might be giving you feedback on things where you're like, this is at a wireframing stage and I know the visual design isn't looking amazing right now, so can we not focus on this conversation? And it helps guide through the right discussion. So tell people what you're not looking for feedback on. Very underrated, yet you'll be surprised on how much this helps in the conversation. So tell people, look, there might be spelling mistakes, a content or copy might not make sense right now. Instead of using lorem ipsum, I've actually tried and made the copy up myself right now. I've attempted the content, but again, I'm not looking for feedback on it. I'm not looking for feedback on the impact or the measurement of success of a solution or the technical feasibility of using some of these components. I'm just exploring right now to see what solutions I can go for, and I'm not really looking for feedback on how this works across different device sizes or different device types on Android or iOS, for example. So this is going to really help you as well. I'd say this is, if not just as important as setting the context and telling people what feedback you're looking for, it's going to help guide you for great discussions. Jumping back into Figma, asking people to leave feedback, what I usually do is ask them to drop little comments, so it'll help me against the design. So people can leave some comments of what they think works well, what doesn't work well. They just have to have a Figma account. They are free to create. Chances are, hopefully they've got a Figma account for the cross-functional partners you're looking for feedback from. Just tell them to go into here and then tag you and add their feedback and comments wherever you wish. And I feel like that's a really effective way of doing this. Or you could tell people just to send you this directly on Slack. But I like to work with the feedback directly in Figma, because as I iterate on the feedback, it's easier to see this real time. But that is how I capture feedback really, really simply. Again, it takes maybe 5 minutes tops to set this up, but it's going to help you capture more effective feedback, and it's going to help you and the person giving feedback iterate on your designs more effectively. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Be sure to drop a heart emoji below in the comments if you made it to the end, and hopefully this video will give you more tips on how to get more effective feedback, and it can really help you iterate and get that higher quality feedback you're looking for to progress your designs. Be sure to subscribe for future design related videos, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.